Why was target distinction so hard for WWII radar and sonar? Have you ever wondered why it was so tough to tell one target from another during World War II using radar and sonar? Let's break it down. During this time, both technologies faced a number of challenges that made target distinction quite tricky. Radar uses electromagnetic waves, while sonar relies on sound waves. Both systems send out waves and listen for echoes bouncing back. However, the echoes can be weak or distorted, making it hard to identify targets clearly. For radar, one major issue was the limited resolution. Early radar systems needed to move antennas sequentially to gather data. This process could take tens of seconds. As a result, tracking fast-moving aircraft or separating multiple targets close together became a real challenge. Environmental factors like weather and terrain also interfered, creating confusing signals. Sonar had its own set of problems. Sound waves travel much slower in water than radar waves do in air. Underwater conditions can vary widely, with changes in temperature, salinity, and pressure bending sound waves. This created shadow zones where sonar signals could not reach, allowing submarines to hide effectively. Moreover, ambient noise from the sea, marine life, and ship machinery made it hard to detect weak echoes. Early sonar technology had limited frequency ranges and sensitivity. This meant pinpointing targets or distinguishing between different underwater objects was quite difficult. The motion of the ship using sonar also generated noise that could drown out the echoes. At the time, the technology to filter or amplify these signals was still developing. Active sonar, which sends out pulses and listens for echoes, faced limitations too. The time needed to switch between transmitting and receiving created dead zones where targets could go undetected. Despite these challenges, wartime research led to some improvements. Higher frequency sonar transducers were developed for better directionality. Heterodyne receivers were created to process ultrasonic frequencies. Advances in radar signal processing also took place. However, the fundamental challenges of wave propagation and environmental interference meant that target distinction remained complex throughout the war. In practical terms, these difficulties allowed many enemy submarines and aircraft to evade detection. This made anti-submarine and air defense operations much more complicated. The struggle to improve target distinction in radar and sonar was a key part of the technological arms race during World War II, influencing tactics and outcomes in naval and aerial battles.